The Brooklyn Nets have two picks near the bottom of the first round of the 2023 draft as the team rebuilds. How will they use these picks? It's time for the Nets draft preview with the Nets beat reporter for the New York Post, the one and only Brian Lewis joins me now. Brian, are you draft season ready?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Glad you're ready. All right, draft going down tonight. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get right into it. Brian, Brooklyn, they've been reportedly extremely active in trade talks prior to the draft. So considering the team is the 21st and the 22nd picks in the first round of the draft, what have you been hearing about the Nets' ability to move up in what is considered a deep draft?
Well, there are opportunities there. Between my reporting and others, they've talked to at least five of the eight teams holding picks between 10 and 17. While I do think getting up to 10 might be a bit challenging, uh, the Lakers, at least according to the Athletic, are actively shopping 17. So I do think there are opportunities there. The Lakers do like Dorian Finney-Smith. I think there are chances there for them. I'm not sure that I would guarantee that anything is going to get done, but I do think that there are reasonable chances there for them to move up. I'm not sure whether they've fallen in love with a specific prospect or whether they just think the talent drops off after, say, 15 or 16. But it's something that they're definitely interested in doing, and they do have an opportunity to get something done there.
Okay, so Nets have interest in moving up. We'll keep an eye on that. And you mentioned Dorian Finney-Smith, one of the guys I also wanted to mention here too. With the team being active in trade talks, we also know the Nets, as you know, they have a plethora of wings. Do you think it's likely they move off a veteran wing like Royce O'Neal or Dorian Finney-Smith? And what do you think they could get for those guys that would help their rebuilding process?
I would be, well, listen, I never want to say shocked because at this point in the NBA, you just have to always expect the unexpected. But I would be surprised if both Dorian Finney-Smith and Royce O'Neal are here come training camp. Not impossible. The Nets aren't displeased with either player, but both players have value. I reported that they turned down two first-round picks for Dorian Finney-Smith at the deadline last year. It's been reported elsewhere that they had been offered a first-round pick for Royce O'Neal. I would think that, considering there is interest around the league for both players, I would think that there's a reasonable chance that one of those two would be traded in the offseason.
All right, another thing to keep your eye on. What will the Nets do with their veteran wing? So last thing for me here, Brian, what are the needs for the Nets heading into this 2023 draft? And who are some players, if they stay put and pick late in the first round, that you think could be a good fit in Brooklyn?
Well, I would say, with all due respect, the Nets are nowhere near good enough to be drafting for need at this point. I suppose a team like Denver could probably draft for need. All right. Maybe a Celtics team or a Milwaukee could draft for need, but for the most part, 25 of the 30 teams, most teams should be drafting best player available, right? What I would say is their needs are shot creation, and they could use some more size, another rebounder. Those are their needs. I am not sure that they can come out of this draft expecting a rookie to single-handedly shore up either of those issues. What I would say is, uh, as an example, a player that would be useful, Derek Lively would be useful. All right. I'm not sure that he'll be there. You'd have to talk to somebody who has more expertise in terms of the players sliding and falling. I would expect that you might have to move up to get him. I would think they probably feel they might have to move up to get him. If he falls to them, I think that's an easy pick. If you look at their history, Sean Marks has been drafting a center like every other year. Jared Allen in 17, Nick Claxton in 19, Day'Ron Sharpe 2 years ago. So I guess it's about time for him to draft another center. Noah Clowney, Brandon, hopefully I say this right, Pajimski. These are players that would hold value if they're standing pat at 21 and 22.
Will be interesting to see what they do, Brian. You talk about the need for size and shot creation for the Brooklyn Nets. We will see what they do at the 2023 NBA draft. And if they are able to move up, you know who will be all on top of that? That will be Brian Lewis, the great beat reporter for the Brooklyn Nets, covering it for the New York Post. Brian, always good to talk some Nets hoops to you. We'll talk soon again.
Oh, definitely. Thanks for having me on.